Hybrid lighting.
Discover Mirrorless recommends the LED hybrid lighting solution from Quantum called the Omicron.
Hey, what up? This is G. I'm talking to you about how to set up your Lumix G5 like a boss. The Lumix G5 is the little brother of the pro level GH3, but if you take some time and set it up right, you'll take that camera from a little consumer camera to a hybrid photography powerhouse. Let's take a closer look. Now we're going to go ahead and adjust the function buttons. To do so, you want to open your menu, and then you want to go to your custom functions, function buttons set. You can either use the touchscreen or you can hit OK on your control dial, and there we go. Okay, function number 1 I have for my preview. Okay, you cannot get an accurate exposure preview on the G5 unless you use the preview button. Function 2, which is down below here, you can see with it lighting up, I use for the histogram. Function 3, actually, I do not have it set for my level gauge. Actually, I have that set for the standard EVF on and off, because I do not like using the eye switch automatically for how I shoot, because I find that I actually end up covering up the sensor there, and it turns off the screen when I don't want it to. 4 is where I actually use the level gauge right there. That is the soft button on the screen. And function number 5 for flash compensation for the times I do use the pop-up flash. Okay, pretty straightforward. Let's go into the recording menu, and I'm going to go back up to page 1. I'm going to talk to you about how I have my JPEGs settings set up here. So I prefer natural as my base for the picture profile that I use for how I shoot. Contrast I keep at 0, although sometimes I may crank it up a notch or down depending on what I want to shoot at the time. Sharpness, I take it down 1 click. Saturation, I bump it up 1 click. Noise reduction down to its minimum of -2. And then for my monochrome, I take my contrast all the way down, sharpness all the way down, saturation I leave alone. Now the cool thing is, if you want to make your black and white cool tone, you go to the right, and if you want it to be sepia tone, you can go to the left, which is pretty awesome, I gotta say. So now you can actually have multiple versions of a monochrome look stored in your camera. Noise reduction down to -2. Pretty straightforward. And I'm going to store those into the C1 for the color and the C2 for the black and white. And you do that by going to your custom memory set, C1, C2, C2-2, and C2-3. What are those? So 2-2 and 2-3 are, you access those strictly by the menu. Let's actually go to my monochrome C2 function, and we're going to go here and back into the menu. You can go to custom mode, and now we got your different custom modes for C1, C2-1, C2-2, and 2-3. Right now for 2-2, I use the creative filter effect for retro, because I really dig the retro look. And for 2-3, I am going to use a high key look. But that's just what I'm into right now. I do change this a lot. I love experimenting with the creative filter effects for C2-2 and 2-3. And the cool thing is, if you want to change these looks, you got your little pull-out menus. Using the touchscreen, I can make it red, or I can make it more yellow, depending on the type of retro look you want. I like the red. It reminds me of Kodachrome. Let's go back and go to the high key. And again, with high key, you can make it more towards red or more towards blue. So it's kind of cool because I can jump through these looks real fast when I'm shooting. I can do a color with C1, which is my natural. I can quickly turn the dial, the top control dial, to C2, and then I got my black and white, and if I want, at that point, I can go to a retro or a high key retro if I tone it, say, to the red. Now it becomes kind of like a high key retro with warmth, or a high key retro that's cooled down. Pretty awesome. And then you can actually you don't have to use your creative filter effects for those two modes. You can use whatever you want. So if we go back to the monochrome setting that I was talking about before, and say you want maybe for C2-1, maybe you want it to be a cool tone, black and white. And then the third one, maybe you want it to be a sepia tone. You can do all that and store it into your custom setting modes. And what's cool about this is as you're shooting, it's just a matter of switching your dials back and forth. As you're shooting, your mode's already set up and you're good to go. Pretty easy and pretty straightforward. I hope this video has given you some ideas on how to set up your Lumix G5 for hybrid photography. Let me know what's working for you in the comments below, and if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help. Now, if you want to learn more about how I use the Lumix cameras and other products for hybrid photography, please follow me over at discovermirrorless.com and smallcamerabigpicture.com. Again, this is G. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Hybrid lighting.
Discover Mirrorless recommends the LED hybrid lighting solution from Quantum called the Omicron.